MSI, and ESEA.
It's time for us to venture into a third. That's right, yes indeed, Na'Vi bounced back after conceding a surprise loss in the first of this best of three. The winner does get a ticket to the playoffs, so a whole lot on the line. In fact, quite funny to hear Henry at one point just going, that's right, this is a battle for the playoffs, having to remind himself perhaps. But either way, twists and turns aside, we do get ourselves another close to 30-round game, 16-13 the final score, Yanko and Pimp residing. Gents, what do we make of this one then? Heroic were, what, 3 rounds away from being in the playoffs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they fulfilled some of their win conditions, right? Having a strong CT side, really, then winning the pistol round in the second half. But unfortunately, they fell to the CZs in that second half and couldn't really convert into a 3-0 start. And then you could see how they were running out of steam, you know, a little running out of ideas a little bit, a couple of times caught off guard by the aggression from Na'Vi. And I think that's just to be expected from a team that's fielding, you know, a stand-in and a player who only recently joined the team.
One of those cases where you just see Heroic hit the ceiling, right? We see them play well, but as you said, you know, they ran out of steam. They didn't have the necessarily extra strats, extra ideas to
playbook.
And like a playbook, yeah. You know, deep playbook where you go into, okay, this is not working, so we try this instead. You know, it was just like, this is not working, what are we gonna do? You know, and that was probably the problem for Heroic in this one. We'll say they were a little bit disappointed in Na'Vi. I expected them to be more dominant. It was close, you know, and this could have been a Heroic victory had some of those rounds that you talked about gone their way.
Yeah, so 16-13 with both, you know, with Simple, Flamey, and Electronic all playing well. Usually when that happens, Na'Vi is off to a dominant win, but it just tells you that for them it might just be a slow start or maybe not the best of maps, but then this was their pick, so. Yeah,
this is their pick, and we saw Cash as well, and now we get Mirage, which, if I'm honest, Heroic didn't look bad on. I mean, we can finish our Overpass conversation first, but I don't think this series is by any means said and done, reverse sweep, lock it in. Even though we do see Na'Vi stabilizing, I think, you know, we weren't that far away from wrapping up the day here, Jacob. Now, you talked a little bit about, you know, Na'Vi and how they kind of left some stuff to be desired. It's not just the fragging, though, is it? When you're watching their gameplay, is there anything that stands out? It can't just be that you've got hard hitters fragging them, but there's a reason they're still losing rounds.
I mean, I think it is sort of like to me, Na'Vi has been this whole time like sort of like an identity crisis where you have a guy like Simple putting up all these like frags and these great numbers at all times. So if you're Zeus as an in-game leader, what do? Do you like surround the whole entire team around Simple and just make him go off every single game, or do you want something to fall back on as well? And I think Zeus is sort of like caught in the middle where he wants to make sure that if Simple is not having a great game, Na'Vi can still put up a fight. And in order to do that, you have to be very creative in the way you set up the team, and all the other players also have to accept, you know, that if Simple is going off, we have to cater to him at all times. So I think it's all like the identity within the team and how to approach the game every single time that kind of still struggling with, you know. And when Simple is not dropping 40 frags or 35 frags for Na'Vi, you know, where are they at? You know, we don't really know that, and I think Zeus himself and Na'Vi as a team is still trying to figure that out and trying to implement some of that team play so they have something to fall back on, and that maybe cost them a little bit here and there.
Interesting. Identity crisis. You know what? We will talk a little bit more about that, but actually we have a great opportunity. Sounds like Trace has gone shopping for an interview on the show floor and actually found someone who struggles with an identity crisis of his own. Let's go ahead and check in. It's Trace and some special guest.
Special guest, you said identity crisis. I was going to say something about like, hey, this is a Mirage Etoile. We're going to be having Mirage on both streams. And with that, let's talk about the B stream. Let's go ahead and kick it off right there, Chad.
Look, I'm just getting word right now. MVP versus NRG is going into the third. Look, it's a close matchup there. I think we're happy to see that the Koreans are putting up a fight, but behind us, when they won this matchup, Trace, they looked a bit dejected. I think they should have thought they finished it in 2, but going into the third, I think morale's high. There were smiles. Flamey was smiling before I saw it.
I think he's still smiling. I can kind of feel him smiling behind me right now. Either way, yes, they look a lot more centered, a lot more, how do I say this? Grounded right now rather than in the first map. But going into Mirage, will they be the favorites?
I think Simple's just going to drop another close to 30. You know, it should be too easy for them to take this one. And coming to this matchup, Heroic, sure, they're showing good individual prowess, but Na'Vi too good.
Now, Chad, we're in Texas, right? So when I think about an individual prowess, I think there's just one thing that has to stick out, and that is a yeehaw. So can we get one of those from an Australian sort of perspective and get your prowess on it?
I've never really yeehawed before. This will be my first time, so I need everyone at home to be gentle with me. But just
Watch your ears. Watch your ears.
bloody hell, mate! This is on the spot. Yeehaw! No good. Louder. More decibels.
Yeah, no, we're
Give me a real one.
No, we're good. We'll save the gold for later, Chad. With that, no, you really want that?
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeehaw! All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and stop this awkwardness right now. Get into Mirage, and let's kick this bad boy off the last map of the day.
It was awkward until Trace Greystar is with that incredible. I felt like just blasted straight into Cowboy universe. I could feel it all. There was lassos and what are they called? Spokes? No. What are they on the back of your boots?
Spurs. And you know also how everyone has that, you know, Chad has his moment usually when he touches down in Australia, he changes his voice altogether, goes full Australian, right? You can't understand half of the things he's saying. For Trace, it's just you give him a bit of country music, you know, and he gets that southern accent. It's yeehaws all over the place and everything. So I have a feeling when he gets to the arena, he's going to let it go a bit more.
Honestly, I think you're right. It was actually really funny. We spent, I'm not throwing you under the bus here, we spent an extra 7 days in Sydney. Yanko was there, as was Trace. And Yanko at one point was controlling the music, and I just saw his little smirk because he puts country music on. He looks up and just sees Trace's foot tapping, and he's getting all country. He's like putting his hands in his pants, and he's like doing the dance. He's like, yeah.
I think the hat,
Tiff in the hat. He hasn't even got one on. Doesn't even have one on. But yeah, we can make Trace go country, definitely, when we get to those playoffs. And when one of these teams gets to playoffs, Jacob, what is your prediction and why? Let's play that game. It's game show time.
Yeah, I think Navi is going to be a dominant force on Mirage. The last few times they played it, they won. They also played against MVP today on Mirage and won pretty significantly. You said it yourself, Heroics showed some great signs on Mirage against NRG before, but that is an NRG team that I have lost faith in, at least online for now. It hasn't been the same team that we saw online peering through the NA season, so it's not that big of a result, I would say anyway. And Navi is just a great Mirage team. Simple is a great Mirage player, and last time they played Mouse, they also won Mirage against them at Marseille, so it's a team that can play Mirage against the very best in the world on that map as well. So Heroic shouldn't be a problem in such an important match for them.
Well, you've actually convinced me. That's actually a really good case. I assume, Yanko, you're going to either try and attempt to argue that. I don't know if you
Jacob put it, you know, very logically. He has very good arguments there, very good points. Now we have more firepower. You expect them to do better as a team on the map like this against, you know, but basically as a pug team in Heroic at the moment. But that all being said, Alex, Heroic are doing it. They're going into the playoffs. Simple is gonna have a nightmare of a game. He's gonna break his monitor. Freiburg is gonna dominate the B side like the days of old, flanking Navi time and time again. Zeus loses his mind because of that. Neither tactic is working. They're getting flanked. They're running into stacks. All smiles on Heroic. Modi, the new mastermind, the new in-game leader, player / coach / manager / motivational coach / psychologist / chef / movie expert, movie critic. Heroic 2-1, Alex.
My goodness. Now that is a prediction and a half. Okay, and that's Counter-Strike in a nutshell, actually. We can just go ahead, copy-paste that to every team and prediction and say, so basically, here's the thing. Na'Vi, they've beaten what some say the best team in the world on Mirage. They've looked very good. Simple and Flame have both demonstrated they can frag, at least in this series. Heroic, they're going to win. That's pretty much how we really should be doing it.
Yeah.
You convinced me.
Yeah, you convinced as well? No, absolutely. It does look like we're going to be waving goodbye to Heroic, at least in the upper bracket. I wonder where does the loser of this end up? I've got it up here. So they're going to be falling into the lower bracket. That's got the MVP NRG game and Cloud9 waiting in the lower bracket.
It's such a fine balance because if Heroic wins this one, they're straight into the playoff with a possibility of going straight into the semifinal. But if they lose, they go down to the lower bracket, and from the lower bracket, they have to win not only one best of 3, but 2 best of 3s to go into the playoff. So there's such a big difference of winning this game and losing it.
Yeah, I bumped into Config and Yugi in the elevator, and he was like, "Yeah, it wasn't a good performance from us." I was like, "Oh, sorry about that, man." And he was like, "Yeah, then we've got to win 1 best of 3, 2 best of 3, 3 best of 3, nearly 4 best of 3s, I think, to get to the playoffs." We were like, "Yeah, that lower bracket life. It's not a fun place. It's not where you want to be." And we're going to be seeing who falls into that dangerous zone. It will be Heroic Na'Vi final map, last chance saloon for these Cowboys. Let's head over to Henry and Haz.
Yes, thank you very much, Alex. The final map of the day, the decider between Heroic and Na'Vi. Mirage is where it'll take place, and it'll be Heroic starting on the CT side, Na'Vi with the P250 in the hands of Simple with armor as well. It's what we'd call a Superman purchase these days, and we'll see whether they can open things up. Heroic had them on the ropes on Overpass, but their T side was lackluster. Couldn't get it together, but they have looked amazing on Mirage today. We saw them against NRG earlier, Harry. I feel like Heroic are the favorites. What do you think about that?
You know, Henry, I have to agree with you.
Okay.
You know, I'm a big Heroic fan, long time. And for Na'Vi, they need Simple to show up here. Actually, Electronic looks to be the man leading the charge. Yeah, we're going to be in with one more. Suddenly, this pistol round looks pretty good for Na'Vi. Crowman, Muddy, and Nico left alive. Zeus going to be holding the flank. Simple just going to beat him to it. Goes in and gets rid of Crowman, leaving it now Nico and Muddy. Make that just Muddy. 1v5 and struggling to really find anything there. Na'Vi going to be finding the pistol round. Muddy trying to make things expensive for them, but now as they home on in, they're able to find him. Na'Vi going to go 1-0 up here on their T side of Mirage.
There it is. The B attack works out quite nicely. Freiburg could do nothing there. Na'Vi have lost a few second round force buys, and it's a CZ again. Quite the infamous weapon at this point. Round 2 will bring 3 of them to the forefront. Estag get to buy. I assume he's the Orpus, so he'll take the full eco at this point. So yeah, 3 CZs, 1 Deagle for Nico. And 4 rifles for Na'Vi, 1 Mac-10. Round 2. Na'Vi do everything they can do to get this one in their favour. No mistakes can be made. They have looked very shaky today. Yeah, for the first kill, it's Muddy to go down. Mid control is theirs. Sees it towards shore though. Will do nothing. Crowman gets dropped by Edward.
Yeah, this is looking good from Na'Vi right now. Showing restraint over here in mid. Not going to go any further forward. They have got a 2-man advantage. Simple actually still edging forward. And there's Freiburg. Janko brought this up. He's flanking over here towards B. But Flame is positioned perfectly to shut him down. He only manages 1. Estag and Nico left alive. B-bomb site going to be gained by Na'Vi. And they will be allowed to get this bomb down. Actually, Estag paints Zeus up with damage. Simple hasn't rotated in with the bomb just yet, but there we go. Now he joins the ranks outside of B. Na'Vi, 4-on-2, bomb planted. You imagine this is going to be their round. Henry, I'd like to say, I'm actually going to change what I said earlier. I think Na'Vi are going to take this. Not just because
they've won the first 2 rounds.
The reason is, actually, my whole defining point, this is what I was meant to make, and I just completely forgot.
Go on.
Was towards the end, you know, Muddy, I think he was the real driving force for Heroic. Yeah. And we saw him at the end of Overpass. I think the last 7 rounds, he didn't manage a single kill. And he was actually the first man to fall, I think, in like 5 of those rounds, right? And I'm just thinking, like, if he carries that form forward, he was so essential to their success, but, you know, on both maps, that, you know, I mean, if he's kind of now been stunted by that, I think this is going to be quite an easy one for Na'Vi.
Well, it's a 4-on-2 for now. This should be quite an easy finish at this point. Estag and Nico's going to hold on to the upgraded pistols here. Nico with the armor as well. Can't do much to win the round. Might as well hold on to the pistols. As we'll get into round number 3, should be the full eco. Na'Vi don't give much away at all. Very slow, methodical round at the start. Get the opening pick. They lose 1. Edward, that is, after losing his rifle. They pick it up, throw away the SMG. And Heroic now just looking for any sort of exit frags available to them. I don't think there'll be much available as all 4 players are towards B, exiting together. And they'll just hold on to the upgraded pistols here. Not much, but at least something. Done absolutely nothing into the next round. Especially Nico with the armor. Maybe he gets aggressive here. I think he's got a decent spawn. He could go towards Palace or something like that. We'll see. There's Flamey on his screens right now. So USPs, the Deagle, and shouldn't be much else. Maybe 1 flashbang will be purchased to go for a stack somewhere. Heroic will be focusing on 5-man stacks towards a B-bomb site, middle window, whether those do something like that again. It's going to be 4 players towards B, not the 5. And it'll be Nico alone on A with that Deagle.
Spots out Flamey early on. Now there's players rooting up through. Connect about to come his way. Nico really does have his work cut out for him here. Edward already up in connector. Electronic down through short. Now RV taking a very, very active stance and grabbing map control early on, knowing they're only up against these pistols. They want to try and keep this round as clean as they can. Nico over here in CT as that Deagle carried forward from the previous round, has armor to work with as well. And he's pretty proficient with the Deag if you've watched much of Heroic. You all know he's you know, pretty fond of this weapon. They're going to come his way. He's tucked himself down behind the boxes here. They don't know this is where he resides, but the MP7 on Edward tags him one in the head. That's going to force his aim up into the sky, and they bid him a fast good night. Croman going to manage one. You imagine that should be it for them. Simple going to go ahead and trade that back. And yeah, just Freiburg left alive.
Yeah, not really much he can do with this. One frag again. Same player to go down, Edward. 3-0 for Na'Vi. Pretty clinical stuff. Freiburg makes it a bit more interesting towards the end there. Remove some of their economy. But 3-0, and with the force buy in the second, I think Estek can still afford the orb. He was full EK, if you remember. So we'll see whether he brings that out. It'll be got a weak buy still. And there's the orb with some armor. As we get into round number 4. Simple presumably has the orb out as well. And I think Flamey's got a very good spawn towards middle. Could just take this and try and go for the first pick with the AK. We'll see whether he commits to it. Smoke down, not going to go for that fast pick, but looking towards Connector, takes a lot of damage for the grenade and follow-up shots from the window. That's going to be courtesy of Croman. He will go towards that Connector now. Flashed in, Nico on the other side. Huge advantage in terms of HP. He doesn't commit just yet.
Yeah, they're going to start to make their way up through Connector. Nico and Croman both up at the top, and actually Nico tucked away behind the boxes. Can he find anything here? As now he emerges, Nico shuts down 2, gonna try and make haste, run away, but no, he does fall at the hands of Edward. Electronic gonna go to find himself one more in this round. Suddenly thrown back into a 3-on-3. Freiburg does manage to deal with the man in the back line, but now he stands inside of this B-bomb site, all on his lonesome. 2 players coming his way. It's Simple and Edward. And Freiburg has to try and roll back the years. Able to find one. Just Simple left to topple over on the bench. 1v3. Freiburg has bought time, but Simple in with the first. Not going to find anything else. Croman gets rid of him. And that will be the round going the way of Heroic.
Yeah, Freiburg did enough there. Just had to find that one frag to buy some time for the rotations. That's exactly what he did. Couldn't find the second. Simple in the 3 versus 1. Always could be quite deadly, but Croman, lovely, precise headshot from short towards that bench. Removes any sort of risk there, but plenty of money for Na'Vi. They still have a great chance to reset. Heroic hashtag back on the AWP. 3-1. Final map of the day. Whoever wins this one will be going towards the playoffs. Losing out of the tournament, but a difficult route to make it to the playoffs as well. There's that great shot. He has been so good on Mirage today. Takes down Edward. 5-on-4. Bomb still down a T-spawn, but Simple has made his way out of the A ramp. This looks so aware of every single possibility. Takes down Modi. Lovely shot. Flashbang's coming in, and he's going to pounce towards those steps.
Simple still edging forward. They're going to try boost Simple up and over. Nico's not ready for that. Simple certainly is. That's going to be his second kill of the round. You can see they're trying to assemble this boost very, very quickly down in CTS tag, peeking over the top of the warheads. And there goes Electronic, but Flamey tries to trade back. Blink of an eye, it's all onto Simple. 1v2. Oh my goodness, what is that shot? A quick flick down on a Freiburg. As now 1v1. Simple versus Croman. Bomb down middle of the site. Croman.
Yeah.
Rotating away.
Doubting himself. Bomb there. Simple. Very patient. Hoping that Croman investigates towards A. But he's actually going down towards short. So this could actually work out well for him. Very tense right now. Huge round for either side. Simple looking towards that area, though. Didn't quite spot him. Gives Croman a huge advantage as he picks up the bomb. Oh, spotted. Croman takes him down. Few pixels there separate the round, and Croman, great little flag towards short there. He had the bomb in his sight, but went for the long con all the way around. Gets towards short and takes down Simple in a key clutch there. So, Heroic still alive and kicking in terms of their finances. That would have been a harsh reset for them. Probably one more force for Na'Vi available. They'll have pistols, AKs, and see what they can do. Heroic, though, will have quite the advantage here. We'll see. Croman brings over the AK. A couple of compromises to be made, considering one player survives on the CT side. Round 6. 2 AKs so far, of course. Simple doesn't have one. He'll be down to Deagle, no armor. That suggests he actually dropped one of the AKs and gave it to one of the other players. It's flaming electronics players, not too bad. But it's so confusing at points to see how they manage their finances. So Simple is on $0. He has Deagle, no armor.
I mean, he truly is just such a selfless player in that sense. Dropping the AK over. He's going to hold over here towards lower tunnels. Nico and S-Tag start to make their way over in towards the top of mid. Let's get some information, but it also means that right now, Modi stands alone inside of the A-bomb site, does have Croman available for a pretty fast rotate on in. But that one smoke on Flamey, if that goes down for the cross, should be allowed to take this one down, but Modi opening up. Flamey trades one back. 3-on-3. Nico, first man on the scene. 4-on-4 rather. S-Tag gonna get caught off guard by Simple. He's not ready, and Simple now has an M4 to try and work with. Gonna be donning that as he makes his way back through T-Spawn. Freiburg and Croman only just starting to catch this rotation over. Nico needs to try and find something fast. They do have the defuse kit up on Croman. Flamey holding close down in sandwich. Nico gonna try and take the peek on out. There's the smoke onto the bomb, perhaps. Time ticking away. They haven't been able to find anything just yet. One smoke goes down over towards the ramp, and now the flash in. Freiburg on the entry, able to open up with one. Not a second, though, as Edward lines up two, and Zeus there to finish things off. Na'Vi, they welcome a fourth round with open arms.
Absolutely so. And that didn't really work out for Heroic whatsoever. It was the force buy, the Deagle coming out. No armor for Simple, 2 AKs. He holds all the way towards T-Spawn. By his B apartments, gets a key frag, and it all comes crumbling down around Heroic at that point. So great stuff from Na'Vi. Took a risk and it paid off. Pendulum swings once again. It's been a very back and forth game between these two teams. Flamey flashed over trying to find his first pick. Does damage towards Modi and CT Spawn. He's got that scout. He'll be able to trade out the kill, but Nico can't recover a weapon. So he'll be up on the chopping block next as Edward hunts towards his position. Does focus on CT Spawn instead.
Oh, but he's going to lose that duel with Freiburg now. Simple hunting down these players over in jungle, and Simple, he finds all three. So now it is just Freiburg, 1v3, in through the smoke, through CT he goes. The bomb just got dropped in the middle of the site, but luckily enough, Zeus able to rectify that. Picks up Freiburg, no problem. And Na'Vi move on to a fifth. There's no more money for Heroic here. And the Charge is going to have to grit their teeth and go for the eco right now. Simple putting up numbers early on, 11-2. 8 rounds in to the first half. Here. So good from him to get those 3 kills in that situation. Stops it getting out of control because you just had Electronic go down over in CT, if you remember. So he's able to get a leash back on Heroic very, very quickly. And then they stacked over towards mid. Edward going to be sent back. And, well, with 4 players down in mid, 1 in CT. I was going to say you don't fancy their odds, but Zeus is going to go ahead and give away a rifle. That now means that Electronic and Simple have to go ahead and get the kills back, which they do. So 1v4 for Freiburg with only a USP. That's impossible.
Yeah, it is not looking good. It's going to be 6-2 in favor of Na'Vi. Absolutely so. Freiburg look for any sort of exit frag you can get here, but I don't think there'll be much chance of that. In terms of the next round, though, our third stage loss bonus is going to be a 2K right now. Freiburg is looking for any sort of exit potential. If you can upgrade a weapon, that'd be great. Maybe able to get one here. At least make him go down with the bomb, buy as much time as possible, stay alive. Can he do it? Well, he's at least taking someone down with him here. Knife will come out. There we go. So, Zeus and Flamey will be dropped. Electronic and Simple very low HP, but they live to tell. 10K for Simple, 14 kills, 2 deaths. Kind of performance that kind of encourages Na'Vi to step up here. S-Tag, I don't think he can get the AWP. He can't. 75 rifles again. Simple getting it done. Taking everyone down. As he uses the AK-47 to great effect there. 6-2 on the T side of Mirage. Heroic aren't looking as strong as they did earlier today on this map. Understandably so. Different beast, really. No kits available now. No incendiaries, and 3 smokes after the initial Bit of utility use at the start of the round. They're trying to get aggressive here, trying to find the first pick, but look who's waiting for them. How does he know every time? He don't be able to convert that frag. Luckily for Modi, but he was ready for it. He was looking for that push. 5 on 4, just what Heroic needed.
First time in a long time we've seen them have this man advantage. Now it's Freiburg over here towards B. Doesn't manage anything. It leaves the responsibility onto Croman. They fall into his crosshair. He's almost managed to, but not quite. 3 on 3 ensues in the retake. The bomb plant will come in at 4 Na'Vi. Hasn't gone down just yet, so they have some more time to rotate these players in, and it's Modi on this flank that could make or break the round for Heroic. In he comes, sneaking on through. RV using that bomb timer to their advantage. Heroic who have to try and make the move, and there's still utility up. They have to go through the smokes. That's a good shot from S-Tag. Has to be wary those flamey peeks out for the trade. Electronic, that flick is massive. Modi can't get anything done on the flank, and Na'Vi now move on to a 7th. And I mean, once again, the money's now been depleted for Heroic. It's a pretty grim situation to be in.
You're absolutely right, Harry. And this one might not be the exciting finish we are hoping for. Looks like now they've got everything under control. Lovely shots from Flamey and Electronic swinging towards the apartments, finish things off. Another eco for Heroic here. Feels like this dream of them making it to the playoffs might be coming to an abrupt finish, but you never know. Still could develop into a nightmare for Na'Vi. Round 10, CZ's Deagles. Always a chance. Maybe not this time though. Good trade from Freiburg. Maybe taken down by Electronic, who makes sure he doesn't get a rifle. 4 on 3, no nades. Bit of armor. Flamey seems to be aware Modi could be on the other side. He won't commit alone, but does nail that shot. CZ, of course, close range will out-duel the AK. Smoke now to set themselves up to go towards B. Might be able to get one here. Does take Edward down to 1 HP. Good lord. Very unlucky. And Croman, the last player, holding in the B-bomb site.
Gonna go walking towards him. Electronic checks. Now they know where Croman is. Has signed his death warrant. He's gonna go down Na'Vi. 8-2. The buyer's gonna come in for Heroic here, but they have to start to try and get some rounds on the board. This is a different beast altogether with Simple 15 and 3, Electronic and Flamey there right behind him. 10 and 3 on Electronic, 10 to 5 for Flamey. And you know, I mean, one of the things I kind of brought up earlier on was Modi really did seem to kind of plateau out towards the end of that game on Overpass, and he is struggling now on Mirage.
A lot of them are, to be fair. Modi's what, 4 and 9, Nico 4 and 9, S-Tag, who's been instrumental in their success so far, 3 and 9. He's had some great performances, the AWP, on this particular map, and even in this series, but dropped off now. Have a look at the scoreboard for Na'Vi as well. 15 and 3 for Simple. Good lord, another great game for him. Electronic and Flamey keeping up as well. 10 and 3, 10 and 5. Same old story though. Zeus 3 and 6, Edward 7 and 8. So seems to be a bit of a catchphrase at this point saying that sentence, but overall they are winning 8-2, so you can't be too worried at this point. There's another buy here for Heroic, but you can still see the compromises made. The utility is not really there. All for S-Tag, but hasn't really been performing. Simple hasn't even really brought on AWP yet. It's just been AKs and decimating them as they go towards A now.
Yeah, just going to be an A set piece, lining up the smokes, the flashes, everything they need to get them on in. 3 players here for Heroic off the bat, and already the rotation coming through from S-Tag. Heroic, they're going to have 4 players here to try and hold back Na'Vi, but in amongst the mist, in amongst the smoke, it all gets a bit confusing. Electronic's gone peeking through. Modi going to find him. Actually onto a second, so the time for him to start to step up. Zeus does manage to contend with him. Nico falls over at the stairs, but S-Tag's here. Edward in with his 2nd kill of the round. It all falls onto Zeus, who has been struggling throughout a lot of these maps. Tries to get the bomb down. Croman peeks on over. Not able to deny the bomb plant, yeah, but still the round going to go the way of Heroic.
First one they've had in a while. They were at maximum loss bonus there, 5 rounds against them, but 2 versus 1. Zeus unlikely to win that one. Gets the bomb plant down, at least gets extra money for his teammates. They've got plenty of that, but they'll always take anything extra as we get into round 12 here, 8-3. And we'll see whether this buy from Heroic will be enough. They have invested at $0. need to start converting rounds again. We said that a few times to them in this series. AK for Crowan, all for S-Tag. Fast play towards middle now for the teams. Not going to work out for Crowan.
It's not going to work out for anyone. Nico goes down as well. Electronic just lighting things up over in mid. They try to change the pace, and in response, they get shot in the face. Flamey, he's got it in one his duel over at the A-bomb site. It's just S-Tag and Freiburg left. What more can they do? In this situation, how do you play this? Electronic just dancing in through the smokes over in mid. Freiburg almost gets caught with that. Simple's going to help him out at least. Bell's out of trouble there. Oof. This is a weird round. There we go. That makes up for the team kill. Just Freiburg left, 1v3. He's still looking like he's tempted to go for this, and he's found Simple, the traitor of this round if it all goes wrong. Flanking from Zeus. Surely Freiburg doesn't have a read on this. Gonna miss the opening volley of shots, but now caught in the crossfire. There you go, Na'Vi move on to a 9th round.
There we go. Zeus to pick it up, 9-3. That is the reset. And maybe even the ticket to the playoffs for Na'Vi. 9-3 up against the Eco. I say Eco, forced by now. They're going for the Hail Mary play. CZs across the boards, and this could spell a 12-3 half if this does not work out for them. Yeah, Simple did get a team kill, but still winning the round. Their money's still strong, doesn't matter. So there it is, 1 UMP for CZs. Ooh, a push towards the underpass, undetected. Not for long. Down to 16 HP. Desperately trying to scramble away. And looks like he will do, not quite. Electronic finds him. Stray bullet catches him. There's a 5-4.
My goodness, this is a different Na'Vi to what we've seen thus far, Henry. They're looking so crisp, and here he is, Simple, just lighting up the server inside of this B-bomb site. It's only Modi left alive. 1v4. He's tucked himself away in the window room, but Edward still hunts him down. Na'Vi 10-3, and I mean, I think you might be bang on with that prediction. It does look like 12-3 half is looking fairly likely. There's no money for Heroic here. They have to just take the eco. So, I mean, that 11-4 half at least is kind of guaranteed for Na'Vi at this point.
Yeah, if not more. We'll see. They can't really justify the force buy here. 2K per player. You're 10-3 down. You might as well just play for the last. Which will still be a weak buy. $4,400 pretty much per player. Flamey with a good spawn. Goes in towards A. There's already been a kill found. He actually spot the head of one, I think, towards CT. I'm not sure, not quite anymore. As we'll see. Yeah, good. So Modi will get the first kill. This could actually fall apart, you know. Ah, there he is. To save the day, Edward comes in. And they will convert the frags. Electronic. A little bit awkward here. But Flamey will be safe on the A side. Zeus finds another kill. And it's just Nico waiting in CT spawn now.
They've come walking by him. That's one. But you imagine his time on this earth comes to an end pretty swiftly. Flamey going to go to get rid of him. 11-3. Now the buy comes in for Heroic. Scrape together what they can, and it's pretty limited, all things considered. They have 5 smokes, 4 flashbangs, and an incendiary on Nico.
Harry, you can break the news.
Yeah, the iconic quad AWP
on the T side of Mirage.
for Na'Vi. Why not, you know? To me, that's just having a lot of fun, Henry. And that's pretty scary.
The way they've been playing today, fun would be the last thing on my mission statement for the team.
It's true.
I'd be saying, like, let's just make sure we win this game. 4 AWPs is not really a thing ever on any map, on any side, especially the T side of Mirage. But you never know. If they win this, it will be fun. They will be having fun. If they lose it, probably not so much.
Oh yeah, then maybe not. But well, let's see what they can do with it. We're either going to see, you know, some classic kind of BM, or a real lesson in why 4 AWPs just doesn't work. Either way, a learning experience pretty much guaranteed. Here's Edward, the one man, sensible enough to have a rifle down towards short. Electronic. Oh my goodness, there was a smoke there, and he just. Wow. Okay, there we go. Man advantage gained for Na'Vi. As Electronic wants to try and rival Simple's AWPing prowess, challenging him for that top spot in the server. Flamey still keeping a watchful eye with his AWP over here towards the A-bomb site. Yeah, they've traded up back out for some of these rifles. Flamey gonna go down. Yeah, I mean, now it goes back to, you know, real game face time. 3 rifles making their way towards the A-bomb site. S-Tag able to go ahead and get one more. Maybe a little bit more to get done, but no, Zeus gets the trade. And now it's Nico holding from the cross. Freiburg spotted out down in CT as well. Rotations coming in from the rest of Heroic and Electronic. Late in through mid. Starts to make his way through. Nico, good for one, but that's going to be it. The trade's there. Electronic straight away going to be onto that. It's simple. And Electronic, the 2 highest fraggers for Na'Vi to try and keep them in this round, and they might have just done it. Croman alone over in jungle. The rest of his teammates have perished. Bomb down. Flash goes out for Simple. He's going to take the peek, but Croman finds him, and now it's the 1v1. Electronic spotted in CT. Croman knows where he is. He has a smoke as well for the bomb. Doesn't have a kit. And Electronic, there's the shot. 12-3 half for Na'Vi. They're going to take that all day long.
Absolutely so. Lovely finish there from Electronic. Weird round. Haven't seen that in a while. The T side for AWP, so they did drop AKs and spawns. They're able to recover. They gave that round up. They're probably a little bit frustrated, but do convert it. And I'm sure fun was had. 12-3 should be a guaranteed game now for Na'Vi as they now switch things over to the CT side, which is actually more favoured. So they win the pistol especially. What's going on there? Was that a replay of the stunner Yihaz? He's been doing that all trip. He's been getting ready to be here in Texas, and he's certainly thriving in this environment. As you can see the proper highlights here now of all the kills that were made of Na'Vi, with the majority of them. And I thought Heroic had the upper hand going into this one, the way Na'Vi have been playing this series. And hasn't been the case so far, but S-Tag does get the opening kill. And that's Zeus going down. They will help themselves towards that B site. Edward, a lot to do here.
Yeah, he's going to start to make his way through. The bomb's gone down, and Simple opens up. Not even sure that was through, but he found a shot through something. Through the dome of Nico by the looks of it. Edward leading the charge on in. Does fall at the hands of Croman. Electronic going to be tagged up as well. They have to move swiftly. There are kills to be had. Simple's going to be in with a second, but now the rest of the guys just toying with them. Flamey, he's very far away, isolated from this fight over here on short. Time's already too far gone. So Heroic, they're going to find the pistol. Oh, Flamey's going to make it costly.
Yeah, well, farm some of his own cash as well. Not going to get the third.
Yeah, but S-Tag immediately able to trade. Heroic in with their 4th round. They win the pistol in the second half. That's the start they needed if they wanted to try and blaze a trail to the comeback here. When we take a look at the buy, Na'Vi going to be forcing up. Scout out for Simple. Pistols for the rest of the gang. Galil's aplenty for Heroic.
Yeah, you don't need to force buy this round at all. This is actually the incorrect decision, I would say, by Na'Vi. In terms of just closing out the game, in the bigger picture sort of thing, like you'd rather just do it in the gun rounds, not risk anything. The fact you force ball here when you're likely to lose, means that first gun round you have less utility, maybe no AWP. That's pretty much guaranteed to be the case if they do lose this round. So when you have these huge leads, you're looking to close things out eventually. You don't have to do it. You have to steal rounds away. I've never really agreed to teams that do this, but here we go. Let's see what they can do here. Electronic will be challenged first. He's going to have lots of players coming his way. CZ, for once, can't challenge in close range. It's going to be Electronic to go down first. Modi to find the kill. 5 and 4. Perfect start for Heroic. They can just bide their time now and just see where this round ends up. CTs will have to react.
Yeah, Zeus going to go peeking on out over into middle. Spotted by Freiburg. They're going to take the bomb back through T-spawn. Now, throughout this game, it feels like, throughout this entire series, rather, the conversion rate of the anti-ecos has been pretty low. Can Heroic finally convert the pistol round? And then the next few as well. They're going to make their way in towards the A-bomb site. There's only Edward here. He has the dig, misses the opening volley now. He's going to get forced off the angle. Modi sneaking in through short. Going to shut down the first man, spots out someone else. Going to keep pushing forward. That's Flamey, who is chipped up now. There's another kill for him. 3 in this round. Zeus just misses the timing to actually deal with the man who's done so much damage. There we go. Finally going to get rid of him. It's still $1,800 made. You can't be disappointed with that if you're Modi. Simple and Zeus just going to have to save. Heroic, they managed to do it. They managed to convert this round 5-12. They're still going to run into the CZ Nama and the Scout and Simple, though, in the next.
I think you might be right. There it is. Mac 10 and the Scouts. Armor for Zeus, but as I said, this round wasn't really worth the force buy. Just allows Heroic into the game, if anything. But there we go, 2-0 for Heroic. 20 kills for Simple. 17 for Electronic, 15 for Flamey. As we get into the next round, should be quite the walk in the park for Heroic here. Unless the Simple Scout can cause some serious damage. Electronic will join the fun by purchasing the CZ for $500. Will they be able to do much with this at all? We will see. Towards middle. They will position themselves. Nico going in first. Modi to watch the connector. There's a bit of a beast stack here from Na'Vi.
Yeah, they've got 4 players here. Simple. Still has that trusty Scout. We've seen him land many a headshot with this weapon. And Heroic, I mean, you can tell, you know, they're still very, very weary of the damage that Na'Vi can do with the very limited arsenal they took out of that previous round. Looks like that bomb going to be heading back through T-spawn. Joining up with Kroman. Freiburg now joining the ranks as well over here towards A. Simple will be tested in this A bomb site. Flamey's rotated around to help him out. Only a Scout as his lone companion. Can he get anything done? Zeus and Ed were both going to fall in unison. Now leaves all the pressure on it to Simple inside the A bomb site. And this hold will be anything but. Gonna miss that first shot, goes back for more. Kroman just decapitates him there on the peak. It's Electronic left alive. 1v4, he has managed to grab himself an AK, so he's gonna try and hold on to that.
Well, not gonna happen, I'm afraid. 12-6, Na'Vi finding themselves 3-0 down here in the second half. That's absolutely fine. Let's see if they can get things going in the first gun round. Round 19, and the AWP should come out for Simple here. And this is where things get a little bit more problematic for Heroic. They've got a bit of a bonus situation with 2 Galils. Difficult to try and throw those away. They are rifles. Actually 3 Galils. So, a little bit hamstrung in that respect, but here's Freiburg towards middle. Molotov towards that connector. 3 players towards the A apartments, and Flamey challenged by a couple here. Might not get anything at all. There's the first, and damage to Freiburg, taking him down to 2 HP. Finishes him off, and this looks like a very clinical round from Na'Vi.
Yeah, that was impressive from Flamey. Electronic gets a double of his own over here on A. Actually, the hat-trick for him in total. Na'Vi very, very quickly onto a 13th, and that was clinical from Flamey over in mid. The flashbang came through. I'm not entirely sure who threw it, but it was a key flash to facilitate those frags. It was it felt like a bit of an awkward gunfight initially. You feel like he's either going to get nothing or everything in that round, and luckily enough for Na'Vi, it ends up being the latter. So now the buy comes in for Heroic. It's rifles across the board. And after this, their money is pretty much all gone if they lose this round. So everything is riding on it. Edward flashback out of mid. The aggression not going to pan out for them this time as S-Tag and Freiburg slam down the gauntlet. Electronic and Edward bite the dust. And 2-man advantage gained early on for Heroic. They're going to be feeling good. They want to try and keep this going. Fought very, very hard to get here. They wanted to close out an overpass, but Na'Vi said no to that. Trailing behind, but still in with a shot of making it happen here on Mirage.
Recovery mode for Na'Vi. Mid-aggression just certainly didn't work out whatsoever, but Simple still alive with the AWP. Damage inflicted towards S-Tag. Around 20. He can't find the kill. That was in towards CPL. They are going to finish up towards B, and you know who's waiting for them. Luckily, they should be able to trade out of him. The fact he has the AWP, he's not in one of those positions where he can just pick them off one by one. And he will be flashed off as well. Surely he goes down here. there it is. Proman will find 2. 3-on-1. Flamey almost with no chance here to too much of this whatsoever. But good reset from Heroic, and that's going to keep Na'Vi in an eco position here. If Flamey can recover the AWP, that'd be great. Just trying to find any sort of exit kills he can at this point.
Yeah, if Flamey can save this M4, they could go for a buy in the next round, but he's determined to keep heading forward. Freiburg didn't actually spot him there on that initial peak, so there's one for Flamey. And a second as well. Time still ticked very, very low. He's going to go and get the AWP. Has a kit, taps on the bottom, but Croman tucked away on short. Going to go and pick him up. So Heroic move forward onto a 7th round. They just managed to keep the AWP alive.
That might tempt them into force buying this. Na'Vi, that is. That's what they'll call a timeout, I think. We'll have a look if they do it. Indeed, they will. So they've got about $3,500 on average per player. They've just taken 4 weapons out of the hands of Heroic. They know the money's low there. But again, they don't need to close it out like this. 13-7 up, you keep force buying, that's when they get back in the game. Take the eco, close it out properly with all the guns up. Sure, it's going to make the game closer, but it's the most efficient and safest way to win this game. If you start force buying, you're continually chasing. You'll be buying up at $4,500, not being able to get the AWP. And I think they've taken the correct decision. Flamey toward a Deagle, suggests they're not going to force here. Okay, crisis averted. That would have been an absolute blunder, I think. So playing the safe game, playing the numbers. And Zeus is purchased by Zeus. So there you go.
We've done it. We can all go home. That's it. We've got the joke in the bag. Can he get it done, though?
Doesn't even show it on RGUI. They don't even consider it a weapon. But I can tell you, I've got the server in front of me, and he's got a Zeus.
He does. Oh, he's holding it close. Zeus with a Zeus. Ah, that's upsetting. Really, really had a shot, but it's not meant to be. Na'Vi lost a man early on. That was Flamey to go down. Zeus retrieving his Deagle. Heroic not really in any such rush rather to find any more kills in this round. They've grabbed themselves one, and now they just sit back, wait for Na'Vi to make their move, knowing that they're the ones with the pistols, they're the ones with the pressure on them in this round to find something. So it's just going to be this stalemate now. Utility lined up, thrown in for Heroic. They're going to try and execute in towards the A-bomb site. 3 players here for Na'Vi. Electronic tucked himself into the corner, Simple being boosted up on top of Ticket. He looks to try and punch the Ticket of Freiburg, but my goodness, no, he just gets beheaded. Heroic, they wanted to keep this round clean, and they might just do that in a pretty spectacular fashion. The flank coming in from Edward. See that on your screens right now. Maybe this leads to something. Any kill he can find is pretty valuable to Na'Vi at this point in time. There's one onto Muddy. Now they know where he is, but Freiburg there. Going to get the trade. 3 kills for him in that round, and Heroic, they grabbed themselves an 8th.
They're grinding away, Harry. Every round, getting back into the game. As soon as they get double digits, we discussed this many times in Sydney, that's a bit of a milestone, a mental one, but a milestone nonetheless. And Na'Vi, a team that's certainly not in full match form right now, I would say. They look quite weak this tournament, but we'll see. They should still close this one out, but it's not looking too comfortable. Electronics on the MP9 right now. With the AWP out, 3 rifles. Simple looking pretty close with the smoke. He'll take one of those to the face. So he'll probably have to fall back at this point. It's going to be Croman trying to find this first pick. Not going to get it just yet. That's Zeus towards the B side. Watch out for that. This will be a position where they want to bully. Knowing that Zeus is there. Zeus actually lets his teammate go down. I assume he was blind. Gets the double kill though. Simple chimes in. And that could be enough. 3 on 2 now. Freiburg coming from short. Nico's already by the van. And Freiburg's getting it done. 2 on 2 now, and Simple taking damage. It looks like Nico's got the perfect position. And indeed he has. Electronic left in the 2 versus 1, and it's happening. Electronic with the MP9, he's dead. This round's over. And it will be Freiburg to pick it up. Great plays from Freiburg. Good positioning, good timings. And an RV just starting to crumble a little bit now. Might be the pause coming in. They're going to have 2K per player. This is the 13-10 scoreline. Still a lot of work to do for Na'Vi. Sure, they're close, but you need to win rounds to get over the finish line. CZs, Deagles, pistols, and it's getting a little bit rough now. We shall see what happens. No armor, no nades. Zeus does get Kevlar. That's it. In terms of loss bonus, there could be a 4th stage after this one.
This has been unreal from Heroic. Simple, going aggressive over towards top mid. Not able to get anything done. Nico just going to shut him down. Now Zeus has gone aggressive over here towards B. You have Modi waiting very, very passively back in towards the T side of Apps, just waiting to see if anyone does come his way. Heroic, once again, same story as usual in these anti-eco rounds for them. They found themselves the man advantage. Now they just sit pretty. Wait and see if Na'Vi go aggressive anywhere else. And they're going to start to meander their way down through mid. Over here towards short. Electronic could get the information here. He could actually go in for the peak. Oh, is CZ sticking out? S-Tag, please. Do you see that? There we go. One little movement is all it took. Here's Zeus on his aggression, and oh my goodness, that's massive. The bomb gets dropped, he's grabbed himself a rifle. Nico and Freiburg do what they can, and Edward only good for one. Still costly, but Heroic gonna find themselves the 10th round.
Ooh, remember, this was a 12-3 half. True Pro League form. It has been brought back. This is the law of Pro League, we discovered. Over 4 seasons I've been doing this now. It's the most infamous scoreline to ever grace online Counter-Strike. And now finally converted and realized here on LAN. We are going to see all the rounds as we get to round number 24. Simple. Boost up. Flashbangs though. Block his vision, but he is going to get a kill. You know he is. Takes out Freiburg, but still, the chaos continues. Electronic, caught by S-Tag. Good flashbang being used. Could get the double, not quite. Edward will take him down, but at what cost? Goes down to 8 HP. 4 on 3. Croman, what a shot that is. What a player he's proving to be. As Nico chimes in as well. Harry, this looks like another round for Heroic. Zeus flashed in spawn.
He has to find this kill or else this whole round falls apart. Far more than it already has. Croman's allowed just to back away from the angle. The bomb on the back of Nico. Now they lose Edward over on short. Zeus left in a 1v3. That's a nice flick up on a Croman. Keeps pushing forward. Nico's inside the bomb site with the AWP. Taking the duel up close, and Zeus, I mean, he hasn't exactly been having an all-star performance today. This would be a hell of a clutch to win out, but it feels impossible, and there's Nico to put the nail in the coffin. Heroic 11-13. We are seeing a resurgence from these guys on their T side. Everyone hitting their shots. Croman landing some just, you know, crisp entries there in that round. Nico chiming in as well on the AWP. Everyone pulling their weight. 11-13. No money left for Na'Vi. They have to just grit their teeth, go for a partial buy. But as you pointed out, it was a 12-3 half. Since that, Na'Vi have managed 1 round in this CT side.
They certainly have. Another eco required. This is getting scary now. What a horrible way this would turn out to be if they lost this game. 12-3 a half. They're now on the CT side. And Heroic, who would have thought? Their terrorist forces seem to be pretty spectacular. Na'Vi, like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the fact they forced buy so many times but they didn't have to just suggests they thought there's a lock-in, let's just close it out. You need to play the percentages. Anything can happen in CSGO. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Anyone who's made it to this tournament has the potential to beat you. And you need to manage the finances correctly and play the percentages to win the game. And Na'Vi just haven't done that. Too many force buys, too many risks taken. And looking flat now on the CT side, they're going to have CZs. Of course, maximum loss bonus. Anyone's game now.
Well, in this round, S-Tag wasn't able to find anything early on. There was, I believe that was Zeus jump peeking over towards that B-bomb site. Modi and S-Tag still over here towards B to make noise, but Freiburg, Nico, and Croman, they've all headed back through T-spawn. Over to the A-bomb site they go. S-Tag and Modi here to try and sell this fake and keep the rotations from coming through. Flaming Electronic, 2 of the top fraggers for Na'Vi do reside here. Modi making all this noise. Look at how many players it's drawn in rotation. Even Electronic heads away from the A-bomb site. And then as that kill comes in, That's made them commit deep into the bomb site they go. Croman finds Flamey on the entry, and Modi, how's he still alive? How's he still finding frags? He's onto a second and simple. Well, he's grabbed the AWP from S-Tag, which is a big favor to this man. He's gonna go hunting for Modi, and oh, he still doesn't go down. You just can't topple him over here towards B. As he single-handedly tears Na'Vi limb from limb. Heroic gonna go 12-13 up.
Absolutely. And Electronic will try and get some sort of consolation frag. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Oh, my goodness, he does. CZ completely destroys Modi there. Full HP, and down he goes. He finds the AWP now, so not all is lost. This was a partial bite for Na'Vi. If he leaves with an AWP, that'd be great. Nails the shot, but I think he gets wallbanged by Freiburg in the B side. Indeed, he does. That's not bad. He's probably enjoying himself with that one. 12-13. Money available for Na'Vi once again. They've got one round in the second half so far. It's currently 9-1 in favor of Heroic.
This is just unbelievable. Heroic are looking so good, Henry. They've really gone above and beyond expectations, I think. And no one would have predicted that they would have this sort of performance versus Na'Vi. At least at the start of the day, right? We knew so little about this Heroic roster coming into this, and I mean, they've surprised us every step of the way. In towards the B-bomb site they go. Zeus, he's gonna fall. It looked like he should have had one there at least, and now Simple arriving a little bit late. The bomb plant looking to come through.
That's what we're talking about, this B side. Zeus becomes such a vulnerable target. He's there alone. You can get in there, and he's got no damage inflicted, no trade potential. Why not take that? Take that every single day of the week. Zeus, he has these games once every 10 maps or so where he's great, and then most of the time he looks like this, and then it is an exploit. You go towards that, like you have someone like Zipex in there, he can anchor B. He is a support player for them, but he's fantastic. Zeus, you put him up against a couple of players, like he'll likely crumble, and that's exactly what's happened here. Unfortunately, it will be 13-13, 5-on-3, and it's getting quite worrying now, as we'll see if Freiburg can take down the remaining players. Ed was low. Freiburg can definitely justify going for it. There were plenty of cash. Flamer will take him down, but Electronic gets dropped. They might have to eco it. They force by here. As Heroic tie things up, this could be the end. They do give 2 weapons saved. They've got about 3 keeper players. They probably will. It's not too bad, actually. They can drop a couple of weapons and have one more bite. Who would have thought? The 12-3 half, now 13-13. Bickering starting. The anger ensuing.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, this is where, you know, it all becomes very, very real, right? Like, it's you're all tied up at a scoreline where Na'Vi, you can tell, I mean, they thought this game was done. They thought it was all over and that they'd be able to win this out in the second half. Heroic are making them regret ever thinking that way. Down goes Zeus once again over here towards the B-bomb site. They're going to go charging in, and Modi, 2 kills on the entry, tries to make it 3. He does even more damage down the range. The nade going to come on through. Straight through the smoke. Oh, he goes running into Electronic in the smoke at least. Given that 1 kill away Na'Vi, but already Simple and Flamey, they both just faded away. Looking to try and save, hold on to these weapons into the next round. If they do so, then the buy they have will be very, very strong indeed. But Heroic, they take the lead, Henry.
Yeah, this is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Modi, 2 kills, gets it done. 12-3 to 14-13. I can't believe I'm saying that. Freiburg again hunting for those kills. He can definitely get away with it. Gives up an AK. That's good news for Simple at least. He'll get that. Yeah, I think overtime is pretty much a lock-in. I'm going to say that, Harry. It's a lock-in. It's happening. And we'll see. Maybe not. I would say I'd be putting money on it going overtime. Na'Vi going to pull this round back.
Is that because of the trend of Pro League? Or
no, that's just my gut feeling. Okay. There's no real science behind that. It just feels like it's going to be happening. It feels like Heroic will get out 1 round, they'll choke a bit, try to close it out, and Na'Vi will get a couple back in return. Na'Vi with their final timeout of this map. It felt like this one was going to be the disappointing 3rd and final map. We even said that after the first half. We're like, well, not the one we built it to be, but here we are, right at the last few rounds. That's why Counter-Strike can be such a wonderful game. The roller coaster that keeps on spinning around. Hopefully no one's sick this time, but we'll see. Pause comes to an end, and round number 28 comes through. No AWP on the T side, focusing on those rivals. They've got plenty of cash, could have brought the AWP out. Don't feel like they need it. Lots of money for Na'Vi, actually, after all the weapons they've been saving and not force buying around them. Can Heroic find match at series point here? Can't believe it. A team with Freiburg has been in there for about a week. Replacements are plenty. A team that shouldn't even qualify for this event. The only reason they're here is Hellraiser has got visa issues. But still, fighting for a playoff spot. They have the advantage in the third map against Na'Vi.
This is just absolutely unreal. Zeus almost first man to fall once again, gets painted up with a bit of damage there over here towards B. I mean, yeah, just to echo your sentiments, this is unreal from Heroic. It was a 12-3 half. They're playing with a stand-in new man in the roster as well. A team that, you know, if you look at it from a few weeks ago, was just an entirely different roster almost. And now 2 rounds away from securing their spot in the playoffs. Modi and S-Tag leading the charge over here towards B. It's all going to be the Ruse once again. It's pull the rotation off. Zeus is the first man to fall. And Electronic and Flamey on moving from this A-bomb site, but Electronic going to fall at the first hurdle. Croman on the entry, and now it's all onto Flamey and CT. They try and pull something back. The nade does do damage, but Croman's got him past it.
Oh my goodness, this is looking so good from Heroic now. 5 on 3, bomb planted, no grenades at the CTs, 5 frags to find. Money is there for them as they can explore the chances of trying to win this round, but it feels like it's done. They're going to have to save now. Simple gets 1. Will that give them an opportunity to get it? But no, they have to fight for overtime now. Try and keep the numbers up. 15th round found by Heroic. What an absolute nightmare for Na'Vi. Going into this series, I don't think anyone would have said Heroic even had a chance to win a map. Maybe even win a half, let alone have them on the ropes here in the third and final. 15-13 in their favor. Luckily, 3 weapons are saved. Like I said, overtime very likely at this point. But we'll see. Scoreline overall is 12-1 in favor of Heroic in the second half. Now, how nuts is that?
It is unbelievable. And I think this is one of the advantages of having, you know, Freiburg and Modi with so much experience between them in your roster, is having that, like, kind of that dexterity, that fortitude just to kind of, you know, be resilient in that sense, right? Now, being 12-3 down and be able to have this comeback happen is just absolutely unbelievable. And here we go. It's going to be the fast play in towards A, and actually that change of pace, they're going to come to regret it. Modi, first man to fall. He's been pretty instrumental on the entries for Heroic. Freiburg, in the meantime, down here towards Connector. Edward might miss the timing here over on short. Freiburg's been allowed to slip by, and they've got no idea that he sits here down in Connector. Edward just missing the timing on it. Now from this forward position, can Freiburg get anything done?
Modi just trying to make one of those hero plays there. Throw a spanner in the works. Got a good spawn, boys. We need 1 round. I'll change things up. Didn't work out from Electronic to take that kill. Round 29. Edward. Less than a minute, and he'll hold towards CPL. Player already in the connector. Looks like Na'Vi will be able to keep their head above water and go into round number 30 right now. Or they go towards B there, that we said. That's where Na'Vi have looked weak. Freiburg makes his way through. Down he goes, though. Electronic with second frag of the round. 40 seconds remaining. That should be it now. Plenty of money to work with on the Heroic side, so we'll go for it, see what's available. See if a miracle play is there. S-Tag towards the B side, spotted. Gives up their position. The rotations will come through with 20 seconds remaining. Simple gets at least one of these kills. There it is, and Edward will help him out as well. So round number 30 comes in. Looking for overtime. Already kicking with this one. There it is. Round 30, 15-14. Na'Vi shut down the assault from Modi at the very start, and the teammates cannot recover.
Well, round number 30, Henry. We've gone the distance here on Mirage. Map number 3 in this best-of-3 series to decide who makes it through and secures that spot in the playoffs. And also plays versus FaZe to try and secure a spot in the semi-finals tomorrow. Now, all out for Flamey this time around, along with Simple. Rifles across the board for Heroic. I mean, they fought so hard to pull this back over on Mirage. It'd be a shame to see it go to OT, but at the same time, for Na'Vi, you want to see that resurgence. You want to see them start to claw their way back into this. A team I mean, I thought they had this locked in at one point in time. I didn't think Heroic would do this well up against them. Smokes and flashes barrel on in towards the A-bomb site, but no one from Heroic commits.
Yeah, looks like a bit of a ruse there, and Edward does catch them, boosting it towards the window. Overtime looking guaranteed at this point, I did tell you. And that's going to be guaranteed for Electronic. And there we go. Freiburg can't do anything, and that's exactly what I thought would happen. Like, as soon as they get to that 15th round, they'll try and make those plays to try and win out the game. They'll try to do whatever they can, change things up, and they'll all fall apart. You see that massive sigh of relief there from Electronic as they will high five. I think the manager of Na'Vi just saying, well done, boys. That was almost one of the throws of the tournament so far. But still, everything reset now. We're looking for the 1st to 19. 18-18, we do it over again. We do not switch up things at all in terms of the teams. Na'Vi will stay on the CT side, and they'll take a break now by the looks of things as the headsets come off. Those noise-proof headsets can be a bit uncomfortable with the in-ears underneath. So just a chance to calm down. You still get 2 minutes to work things out. Ready's come through, actually, so we'll be getting into this right away. It's coming up to 9 p.m. here in Dallas. We'll have a look at the double orb setup. Na'Vi CT side, and I think it is. We'll have a look. 16K for anyone playing at home. Money not really a factor unless you're playing Dust 2.
Well, we've arrived at overtime, and this is where things kind of start to break down a bit. You know, we always say it gets a bit more run and gun, a bit more sloppy, and this couldn't be more true in this round. Freiburg up in the connector early on, almost with the damage onto Edward. He's going to get burned down to 27 HP, counting his lucky stars to be alive. Croman walking the way of Flamey, but Flamey spots it, tags him up with the first shot, and now has to connect with the USP. He's going to get it done. 4 on 4. And while they had control of connector, they've since given it up. Walked on out into mid. Zeus going to go aggressive down through ramp. Netting them a lot of information, and he could come in late. If Heroic take their time over here in mid, he is going to play into this round. Flamey shuts down another. He's been instrumental with this AWP in the last few rounds for Na'Vi. There's Edward, despite being tagged low, despite being so near death, 1 bullet away, he's been able to do damage, and now this flank from Zeus comes into fruition. Modi has no idea. There it is, there's the kill. It's all onto Nico. 1v4, and Zeus gets the double at the very end. It's 16-15, Na'Vi going to win out the first round in overtime.
16-15, there it is. They take the lead right back. If you're just joining us, what a map you've missed. It was Na'Vi up 12-3 at half. Heroic battled all the way back to take the lead. They were 15-13 up. Na'Vi got the last 2 rounds, take us to overtime now, back in the lead at 16-15. Double orb setup, shutting down Heroic. It'll be so gutting for them to go out in this sort of fashion after clawing their way back in. 5-2 for Nail, but Freiburg towards middle this time. Flashbangs coming through. 4 players towards the B apartment. So we're trying to use set piece to close one out. Let's try and focus on that B bomb. So we discussed this before. Normally Zeus there alone. Simple's trying to back him up now. And what a great job he's doing. Finds the first frag, takes the aggro away. Flick doesn't connect. Nico takes him down, but Edward's there. Great frag. Surely that's all he gets now. Croman towards that kitchen. Smokes down. Plant comes in. 3 on 3.
Croman sitting close over towards the shop. Nico gets burnt down low. There's Flamey to open up once again with his AWP chiming in. Start to push on out. Croman, he might be tagged up. He's lying away. Edward going to find him. It all falls on a Freiburg in a 1v2. He's managed 1 kill. And the second onto Flamey. Now it's Freiburg versus Zeus. And Freiburg almost gets it done, but not quite. Defuse going to come on in. Na'Vi move on to a 17th round. And I mean, Zeus, when it matters, he's been stepping up here in OT.
Yeah, last few rounds have been good for him. That one, no different. 1 versus 1. That was actually a 3 on 1 for Freiburg. If he'd have won that, that'd been amazing. Probably lit the fire beneath them to get the next round, but it'll be a disappointing finish to that particular one. 17-15 now. Final chance for her to post a round on their T side. 3-0 would be a bit of a nightmare. Maybe not recoverable. And considering Na'Vi was so poor on their CT side, getting a 2-0 this early on bodes very well indeed for their T side. Like we said, looking for 19 to close out the game. 18 would be the clean sweep for Na'Vi at this point. Molotovs in. Very standard round from Heroic.
Yeah, now Heroic, they've definitely been struggling here in the last few. This time though, S-Tag, he's found a big entry over here in middle. Edward to try and refrag on this short position. Flamey aggressing down ramp. This is a very, very hard fight to win. Croman keeping an eye on it, but no, he spots the feet, he's tagged him up and now just backs away. Knows he's done damage. Zeus gonna be able to nade out S-Tag as well in the meantime. Two-man advantage gained here for Heroic. They're going to start to divert their attention in towards his speed bomb site. Edward over on short. He has to come in massive here. And he's going to miss that kill onto Nico. He goes down and suddenly it's Zeus and Flamey left alive. Zeus to try and bide some time inside of this B-bomb site. Modi dropping on down. Zeus just going to miss the timing. In danger of getting caught off guard from short, but... Oh, he's very, very fortunate right now to have missed all these angles. So many players all around him. And they've got no idea that Zeus is here, but finally, Modi does strike. And it's Flamey. He's been so good, but this time a 1v4 for him is going to be a very, very tall order. A lot to ask of the man. And as he makes his way in, peak from S-Tag is all it takes to get rid of him, but no, it's Modi to find it. 17-16 in favor of Na'Vi at the end of this first half of overtime. As you said, 19 is the magic number. Heroic, they need 3. Na'Vi only need to muster up 2.
There we go. The last round from Heroic. Denies the clean sweep there from Na'Vi. 1 round for series point for them, 2 for the win. We'll get into a simple AWP situation. Got a decent spawn as well. Probably goes for this mid pick. Trying to take down S-Tag. He does boost up towards short.
Yeah, he's very proficient at holding on to mid in their CT side originally, but this time he misses the opening shot. Has to just back away. Gonna try go blow for blow with Simple, which is tall order nonetheless. Actually, Edward's been allowed to slip by in a connector. S-Tag not in a position to peek out and do anything about it. Gonna get Molotovs off the angle as well. Croman. Fine flame. The electronic's been boosted into window, and I'm not sure Heroic have any idea that he does reside in this position. S-Tag, does he check it? No, he does not. Electronic. He's the difference maker in this round. He's the one that could start the whole process for Na'Vi in this second half of OT. How's he going to do this then? He knows where both the players are. Croman comes his way. There we go. Electronic comes pouncing out. Both kills, and that is masterful trigger control from the man.
Yeah, that couldn't really got any better for him. Gets 2 kills, buys his time, and S-Tag can't really do much of this. Don't even push, boys. Let them have kitchen, it's fine. You've still got utility. Smoke off towards kitchen. Window can be open. There's a tight choke point. Nothing can really do with it. Good shot from Simple, and that should be series point now. Great stuff from Electronic. Lovely positioning. Gets behind them. They have no idea. And he makes sure he guarantees both kills. Times it to perfection.
Could not have asked for anything better if you are Na'Vi. 18-16, and now they need 1 more round. This game has been truly unbelievable. Na'Vi stand on the finish line. They need only the tiniest push to edge them over and take the win here versus Heroic, securing themselves a spot in the playoffs. You know, considering that it was a comeback from 12-3 down for Heroic, it felt like all the momentum was going their way. It looked like it was going to be their game, and then it's been this resurgence. It's been plays like this from Electronic that have put them in this position now.
4 kills in total for him. Could be the most important round yet. Series point for Na'Vi. 2 in a row for Heroic to get double overtime. All for S-Tag again. Modi will join in as well. Simple waiting for aggression towards Palace. Nothing there. We'll be holding up for now. Nico's in that connector. S-Tag towards short. Very slow default for the Na'Vi boys. Still all their smokes, their flashbangs. They don't want to make him a single mistake here. Wait for any sort of CT aggression at the start. Flamey holds up. Just trying to feel out the map. Nothing being thrown, no one making a move just yet.
Just does throw out this one smoke over at B. He's going to start to aggress forward as well, trying to keep Freiburg and Kroman, maybe try and rotate another player around. And actually, S-Tag over on short does mean that right now there is only Modi and Nico inside of this A bomb site to try and hold the fort. Modi opens up with the first onto Electronic. No one there to challenge, no one there to trade. And Nico going to survive that one shot out from Simple. They haven't smoked off Modi. They're giving him a lot of ground, a lot of free reign here in CT. But Edward in with one and the second as well. Big kills to find as now it's S-Tag and Freiburg fighting back. S-Tag going to manage one before Simple shuts him down, and it's Freiburg. 1v3 will be required. He's able to get one. But now he's got Flamey and Simple. The 2 stars for Na'Vi in this matchup to try and contend with it. Simple shuts him down. Na'Vi, they went out the series 2-1. And with it, they've secured their spot in the playoffs.
They certainly have. They do get to the playoffs, but it certainly wasn't their best performance. I guess it doesn't really matter. The job has been done. They are there. Heroic have shown they're going to be competitive in this tournament at least, but still, Na'Vi looking shaky. That's a hollow victory if ever I've seen one. It's a mixed team, essentially, and they had you right on the ropes. You didn't really deserve to win that game. So weak in the second half, but they did manage to pull it back. Heroic dropped the ball in the last couple of rounds. Fair play to them. They're still in the tournament, but they would have loved to have had that free pass at this point. Great showing, and I have to say some of the key names like Kroman, for example, a player no one was really that familiar with. Great showing in this series. S-Tag looked good with the AWP, maybe not so much in the final map, but Na'Vi will be through to the playoffs. And on that note, Harry, we'll throw it over to the analysts. Over to you, boys.
Thank you so much, Henry and Harry. Yes, the last game of the day done. Heroic done, but certainly not out as the handshakes coming through. And it is interesting that, you know, Henry's making quite a very clear and obvious point here, and a very kind of reasonable one, which is Na'Vi, yes, congratulations in the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be happy with that either. I don't think, you know, maybe like a good job, boys, but I think at parts that it's going to be mostly negative and a lot of criticism towards the team and how they performed.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they got the win. I guess that's what matters the most in the end, but the way they got to it wasn't pretty at all. You know, I think if anything was disappointing. They managed to claw their way back into the game. They defended 2 match points on that last map, really, and it was pretty poor, pretty disappointing, and they would definitely need to be looking back into it if they want to have another deep run here.
Yeah, and it actually looked, on the third map, it looked positive for Na'Vi for the first time in the entire series. You were thinking to yourself, okay, this is Na'Vi, no, this is the one we expected to see, and they were playing well. Pretty much all the players were contributing to the win, and then all of a sudden they just switch off, you know, and Heroic fights their way back into it, and it can happen, especially as Henry said, not against a team like Heroic, which is not an Astralis, which is not one of the better teams out here, you know. If Na'Vi is struggling against a team with essentially 3 stand-ins, then they're going to struggle big time against Astralis and FaZe.
So here is the thing, though. Whilst we are criticizing Na'Vi, perhaps it's misplaced, because the win conditions or the success conditions, whatever you want to call them for Na'Vi, often when I'd ask either of you or Chad in the green room, whoever it is, from the analyst desk, you'd say Simple has to be fragging. If Flamey's there with him and Electronic's doing his part, then Na'Vi should be succeeding. Now, that the stats suggest that has been happening, and yet the game is so close. I can't help but feel perhaps we're not giving this heroic mishmash of whatever's going on there,
they definitely played a great game, especially in that second half. The way they were baiting Na'Vi into rotations, right? They were putting a lot of pressure towards Zeus on the B side, and you know, you could see the mind games from Na'Vi. One round they left Zeus by himself. They thought, well, they hit B so many times, surely they're going to go back to A, and Modi was doing a great job of applying pressure and getting those kills. And if he was calling, then there were some great calls where he would put pressure, get a kill, the rest of the team would just explode onto A. One time they would just be behind him, explode onto B. So it was very difficult for Na'Vi to get a read on what Heroic is going to do, and it was pretty impressive. And you just feel a bit disappointed in the way the game ended for them in regulation, because they steered away from it, understandably so. You expect Na'Vi to make the adjustment, but yeah, it was very close in the end.
Very, very close. Actually, I'm very intrigued to know what Na'Vi's experience was. We do have an opportunity to have an interview. Trace has managed to grab Flamey, the top fragger, at least the highest rated player from Na'Vi. Let's go ahead and check in with him.
Alex, I am standing down here with Flamey now. The guy has put many rounds down range. But ultimately, that one was a little scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really scary.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this heroic lineup, right? So overall, they weren't supposed to be here, but then they find themselves fighting for a quarterfinal spot against you guys. Talk to me about how it stacked up.
First of all, they have a new lineup, so we practiced a lot versus them because we thought that they won't attend this event. So we played like 2 or 3 scrims every day. But I think they learned us a lot. So it wasn't a really surprise that they show some good Counter-Strike. But of course, we thought that it would be much easier than that it was.
Well, practicing against them doesn't help at all. That has to be more detrimental than anything. But, of course, putting up numbers on the board, there's no denying that you guys have the firepower. What happened in this best of 3?
First map was Cash. We don't play it at all, and they don't play, so it was like random map for us because we knew that their nuke is very nice. And we beat them online one time on Cash, and we thought that they won't pick it, they will pick Train, but they pick Cash and won it. So after Cash, it was our pick or pass. We started good, but we lost some crucial rounds, and they broke our economy with their first buys. And we started to lose a lot of rounds, and we managed to lose the half 10-5, but we said to ourselves that we are still here, we need to win, and we did a good comeback on City side. And last map Mirage, we were leading 12-2 on 12-3 on T side. We thought that maybe the game is done, but you never should think like this. So the game wasn't done.
You should never think like this. You know, we got Zeus running around the hallways with an op. You know, I've just seen a couple actual Zeuses come out. And at that point, obviously, this one kind of turned around on its head. You guys find yourselves in this overtime. How do you close it out?
When they took 15 rounds, Zeus said that I won't play B anymore because they just went B every round. He went to A and Simple went to B. Then they just started to go A, but me and Zeus started to kill them, and we managed to took some CT rounds, and then T side we did some basic rounds, and they worked. And the crucial round was when Electronic went to window and go on B and kill 2 guys in behind.
Doing something strange for a little piece of change, I think, is the way you could look at that, Flamey. Anyway, I'd ask you to hit me with a yeehaw, but I don't know that that's necessarily either of our strong suits. Either way, Alex Machine Richardson, please guide us home.
I think I will, because the Flamey looked terrified when he even said the word yeehaw. But fortunately, that's all done and dusted.
Maybe he lose his citizenship or something if he does it.
Yeah.
But people talk about LeBron's memory. What about Flamey's memory? You know, remembers all the way back to the first map, then, you know, the rounds on Mirage,
that's on the
come
UK.
back on overpass on the CT side. Zeus decided to not go B anymore because he was getting destroyed. So come to Flamey. Flamey will help you out.
Fantastic.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
Well, I've got a cool story for you. The brackets. It's actually quite a turbulent story. It's one with plenty of twists and turns, at least if you break down those series. But if we bring up the brackets, you can see how things went down. Now, of course, Sharks Esports. Oh, that's a lot of S's. Sharks Esports. I'm not okay with that. Okay, let's forget about them. But either way, the Brazilians did struggle in their first best of 1, thrust into the lower bracket where they met Cloud9, who started once again versus FaZe Clan.
Well, luckily for you, Alex, they're out of the tournament, so you won't have to talk about them much anymore. Same as MVP, they lost energy in that lower bracket. And we can see FaZe Clan and Navi will battle for that semi-final spot. And we have some interesting games in the lower bracket too, Mousesports NRG and Heroic Cloud9.
Yeah, that's interesting to me, just seeing that NRG got, you know, put to work from MVP. You said they weren't the same, Jacob. You can see they got really tried and tested by the Koreans.
Which shouldn't be the case for a team like NRG, who finished at the second spot in the ESL Pro League. So kind of disappointing to see them not doing better.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, we had Liquid take care of Greyhound Gaming. The Aussie Space Soldiers showed up in much better form than what we saw in Marseille. Astralis took easy work of their Danish comrades in Optic Gaming, and SK finally bouncing back, getting revenge of that best of 1 loss in Marseille to NIP.
Yeah, and look at this, though, for Optic. They're going to be playing versus the Ninjas in pajamas tomorrow, and Renegades versus Greyhound Gaming. We're going to be seeing a domestic affair, essentially, at least for the majority of the players in the server. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's in the lower bracket as well, so one of those teams is going home. We've just had Sydney. Now we've got Aussies once again battling against one another. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's all of the games that are coming up tomorrow and the day after. I do want to quickly remind you as well that as we stand here, they are all playing on ESEA servers, and while we're on the topic of ESEA, you too can get involved. Go to play.esea.net. You can get yourself involved, climb the ladder, maybe end up in rank S and pocket yourself some free, I was about to say free change. Not really. You have to play a lot of Counter-Strike. It's not free in any way, straight shape or form, but it is there, esea.net/MDL, if you're interested in seeing how the brackets worked out for the Pro League and those teams that are battling to get into the Pro League, and for those that have fallen from grace. The ones that, of course, it's the league just beneath the Pro League, where you can see that talent being nurtured and some big names. Gambit didn't quite manage to make a splash into the Pro League. What happened to Virtus Pro? Are they still doing it?
They're there.
They're there.
They didn't qualify for Pro League. They lost. They couldn't qualify for the Global Challenge. They lost out to Spirit, and before that,
oh man,
maybe Alternate or someone.
Let's not talk.
How are you doing that? You've got a Flamey brain. That's what you've got. It's all in there. It's all in there. Flamey can tell us exactly how many bullets he had in every single round.
Higher, but all right.
Right, let's go ahead and bring up the schedule for tomorrow. These are the best of threes you get to indulge in across the two streams. We talked about Renegades Greyhound. That'll be the first on the secondary stream. They're running two parallel here, so you can get all your Counter-Strike action. NIP versus Optic. You get to see Liquid versus Space Soldiers. Could be an interesting one, despite Space Soldiers once again unable to field their full roster. And Astralis SK to end the evening. If I asked you to choose one, Jacob, what would you go for? What's your fave of the spread?
I would definitely go for the Astralis SK one. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup because we're going to see how fast SK are in this whole process of introducing Cold Zero to the in-game leading role, as well as having Stu 2K on the team. Whereas Astralis obviously continuing their great form as recently the best team in the world right now, I'd say. They did lose to FaZe and Sydney, but it's not changing the fact that they're one of the only teams right now actually playing great Counter-Strike.
Aside from that one, Yanko, I mean, is what else kind of leapt off the page to you? I do want to see Optic and see what has happened to this new Danish Optic. I haven't got to see them, of course, on the primary stream.
I agree. That should be a good one, you know, see their cohesion, even though it's early days. And also Liquid, you know, versus Space Soldiers, see what Liquid's been doing. They've missed on IEM Sydney, so got that extra time to practice.
I appreciate you guys giving me all of the analysis and intel. Talking of intel, that's right. Every game is played, every PC here is played and using Intel. So a big thank you to one of our sponsors here. It's intel.com/gaming if you want to get any additional info. And with that said, we'll be back tomorrow. Day one in the books. ESL Pro League Season 7 finals done and dusted for day one. Day two in Dallas, lots of Ds, and it's going to be damage. We hope to see you then. Den.
Yeehaw!